Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am pre-recording my Top 5 Wednesday. These are 5 authors that I read this year for 2016. They are new to me authors, and I'm going to go use my trusty journal because I can't get my phone to download to my laptop because I have no more memory left. So I'm hoping that my husband will get me a new computer for the holidays. But we don't know. I'm crossing my fingers. So anyway, either that or another hard drive. So I am going to do 5 authors that are new to me that I want to read more of their books. So the first book, the first author is no surprise. He is a New Jersey author, and he writes thrillers. He writes adult thrillers, and I read 2 of his books this year. I actually just finished one, and the author's name is Harlan Coben, and he is from New Jersey, as I said. This is the first book that I read by him. It's called The Woods, and I gave it 4 stars. He keeps my attention, and this book was 509 pages, and I really enjoyed it. He is a thriller, so there are like things that are like killing and all that in it, but very suspenseful. I enjoyed that one. And I also read, which I just finished, was The Missing You, and I have not put my thoughts in here yet, but I did just finish it, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend him, but again, you have to like thrillers. He does kill people and stuff throughout the books, and yeah, and you have, it's really good. He writes really good, and I like to support him because he is from New Jersey. Okay, a second author that is new to me for the 2016 is Lake Crosby, and I have read 2 of her books, and she also has contacted me after my reviews, and I have another book that I'm supposed to be reading for her, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so that will be my attempt. The first thing in January, I'm going to be reading another one of her books. So the 2 books that I read by her is Cracks in the Sidewalk, which looks like this one, and I gave it 5 stars. And I read this one, The Regrets of Cyrus Dodd. And both books I gave 5 stars to. They were amazing. I really liked her writing style, and she writes fiction, and she writes like realistic fiction, and I really enjoyed both stories. So that I highly recommend you pick up something of hers. I haven't read anything else by her, but I will definitely be picking up more of her stories. So that's my second choice. Correction, I read 3 books by Harlan Coben. I found another one in my book. I read Fool Me Once. It wasn't as good as the other 2, but I still read that one in 2016. The third author that I found is a new adult author, so she does write sexy times. She writes like the shades of gray. So if you do not like those type of books, I wouldn't suggest reading her, but I did really highly enjoyed the first 2 books that I read, and I am currently reading the 3rd book. And the first 2 books, the first book is called Craving, and the second book was called Obsession, and I read those back to back, and as you can see, I gave it 5 stars and 4.5 stars. So yeah, I highly recommend if you like shades of gray type of books. So yeah, just a warning there. But I really enjoyed, and I want to read more of her books. I think she has another series out somewhere, but I haven't gotten it yet, and I do have book 4 on pre-order already. So yeah. The 4th author that I read 1 book of, but I do want to read more of her books, is Kristen Hanna, and I finally read her, and I read Nightingale. I gave it 4.5 stars. I really liked her writing style. I definitely will be reading more of her books. I do own quite a few of her books. I heard that Winter Garden is really good, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Yeah, definitely will be picking up more of her books probably in 2017. And the last author that I have is a adult author. It is George R. Martin, and I read the Game of Thrones. I really, really enjoyed it. I read the book one. Here you go. His book one. I listened to this on audio. It is an amazing audio. I also watched the TV show. Book one is exactly like season one of the TV show. I really enjoyed it. However, it is very adultish. It has lots of violence in it, lots of sexual content in it. But I did enjoy his writing style. It did take me a long time to read it because he is very descriptive. But the audio really helped out with that, and I followed along while I was reading. I was listening, and I definitely, hopefully in 2017, moving on to the book two. I did watch season two. I marathoned season one and season two back to back, and then I stopped because I don't want to know anything else, so don't tell me any spoilers. Yeah, so I definitely will be continuing on with that series. I did buy the whole set, so yeah, so he's a new author to me, and now I realized that I did not give you any YA authors that I read, so I am going to pick a YA author, and the YA author new to me would be, okay, out of all the books that I read 100 books, and the YA author that I chose to highlight and tell you about is Meg Cabot. I read her one book. I read The Shadowland Mediator. It is also as The Love You to Death. And it looks like this one, and it is about ghosts, and it was really, really interesting. I gave it 4.5 stars. I do own the rest of the series, so I hopefully will get to it eventually. I have a hard time with series. They take a long time, and I get very disappointed because I love the first book, and the rest of the books, yeah, I have a hard time reading the rest of the books. So anyway, so that's the author that I chose for my YA. So I gave you 6 today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in another video.